Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. So first off, as always, thanks for subscribing. If you haven't already subscribed, please do like and subscribe. I have lots more tutorials coming up, so don't miss out. Okay, on with today. I am about to start setting out my next commission, and I thought it might be handy whilst I'm doing it just to show you how I go about picking my colours. So this is the more you do it, the less you need to do this, to be honest, because you just sort of look at the colours and you say, right, that's that colour, that's that colour. But if you're a beginner, you're just starting out, it's a really good idea to do this. So what I've done, I've got my colours on just an offcut of paper, and so I've just coloured right to the very edge. It's important you colour right to the very edge, or else you have a white line in between and it makes it much more difficult to see. So then if we say we're going to look for this light bit here, so you can line your piece of paper with your colour chart on up next to the light bit, and then you can just pass it up through and find something that matches. Sometimes you won't have an absolute match and you will have to mix some colours, but that depends on how many colours you've got. So that's not bad, but it's not right. So if we keep going, now that's better. That matches much better. So you can see the light on the print off matches pretty well with the colour I've got there, which is the Naples Ochre from the Caran d'Ache range. So what I would do then is take my pencil and just draw a line, circle it so I know where it is, and then just right on there, Naples Ochre. So and you can just basically go around the whole drawing doing that. So if we say we want to find these dark bits in his area, they're not dark enough. The Van Dyke brown is the right kind, but it's not quite dark enough. But it's the right shade. So we could use that with some black or grey over the top to make it darker. If we keep going through, again, the Castle Earth is a good match, but it would need to be a bit darker. And then if I turn this over, so it's not going to be there because these are all my cold and warm greys. But then when you get to warm grey 6, that's very similar. And dark sepia also is a good one, but it's not quite dark enough. But you see, we could have dark sepia and then warm grey 6 over the top of it, and that would give us the depth that we need in there. So again, take a pencil, just right on there, dark sepia and warm grey 6. Okay, so, and then you can do this as little or as much as you want. When I've already found this highlight here, these highlights are very similar. If we go over and we go to the Naples Ochre, you can see it's very, very similar again. It's a little bit brighter on here, but again, we can use whites and creams to lighten the Naples ochre. But that's a good base for the highlights. And then, so if we look for mid-tones, we have got some mid-tones in here, here, these, so they're not quite as bright as the highlights, but obviously they're not the darks. So again, if we go through, we look for this bit here. So again, just running through the colours, Van Dyke Brown could work for the darker bits there. Brown ochre could work in there as well for these mid-tones. That's that one. Again, brown ochre, but that's from the Derwent pencil range. But again, that's not a bad match. And the green gold actually from Faber-Castell is a very, very good match. So we definitely want some green gold in there. So again, just draw a line. Green gold. So and that is basically all I do. You can go as much or as little as you want with this. So if we wanted to find the brown in his eyes, that burnt sienna is quite a good match. So is the nougat. The nougat's a very good match. So we have some nougat in there. And then for the greeny tinges in the middle of his eye, we go to a different color chart, and the turquoise blue is okay, but it would need lots of greys over it to tone it down because it's clearly much brighter. But it's the right sort of green that we're looking for. I think the dark sap green could be good for the outer edges. But the inside, oh, that malachite green is quite nice. It's a bit darker than that turquoise blue, and it matches a bit better, I think. Have we got any other greens? No, not really. So I think I'll put some malachite green in there. And the same, then do the same over this side. Yeah, that will match, but there's actually a little bit of yellow in this eye as well. There isn't in this eye, but the shadow, the highlights in this eye have got a bit more of a yellow tinge to them. So if we go through the yellows, not like anything's going to match. Olive yellow is not too bad, actually. Naples ochre. No, that's too bright. So you see, this is all that I do. We can use some of that cream in there, though, definitely. And it makes it much easier when you come to actually rendering it and laying the colours down if you've got an idea of the colours that you're using. It's really difficult if you just wing it and go, and just pick up pencils and start putting colour in it. It's especially if you're drawing on paper when you can't go over lights with darks, it makes it very difficult. So it's really important to choose a colour palette to start off with, and then kind of stick to it really. Seeing there, brown ochre works really well for these bits in here. More matches. So you can go around the whole drawing doing this, getting your lights and your darks and your midtones. But again, I would suggest that you don't have, like, obviously I've got lots of colours because I've got all those and all of those and those, but I don't ever use the full range of colours on a portrait. It just only use a few. It makes it easier for yourself, and you'd be surprised how many different tones you can get from just a few pencils and different colours. And you can easily get very confused if you just start using loads of different colours. We want some Castle Earth in there, definitely. So now that I've decided that my darkest bits are going to be Castle Earth with some black and some dark greys, all of my dark tones I will try and use just those 3 pencils for. And then my mid-tones at the moment, I've only got green gold and what was the other one? I haven't put it down. Brown ochre, I think. Let's just check that for this one. Yeah, brown ochre, Faber-Castell range. So my mid-tones, I've got brown ochre and green gold. And again, as far as his face goes, I'm not sure I'm going to need any other than those 2. And then our light tones, obviously we've got lots of white and cream. Some highlights in his eyes with the whites, but that's basically it. So I get 2 or 3 light tones, 2 or 3 mid-tones, 2 or 3 darks, and try and keep it as simple as that, because you really don't want loads of different colours and pencils. It makes it harder, and it doesn't work so well. You're much better off using a select few. So on this side here, he has got a highlight running down the side of his face there. So I just want to get that because it's not white. Cold grey one works well in there. So cold grey one. And then for these darker bits, cold grey 2 works well. Works really well. There's actually a little bit of warm grey 3 in there as well. So cold grey 1 and 2, and then these bits warm grey 3. So that's basically it really. So I've now got my darks, which are Castle Earth, Nougat, and some blacks and dark greys, warm grey 6. And then I've got my mid-tones, which are brown ochre, green and gold, and probably need another mid-tone actually. So these bits up here. So we've got the brown ochre in there, and we have the green gold in there. I'm not sure if we need another mid-tone actually. Like I said, I don't want to overdo it and have loads of different colours just for the sakes of using loads of different colours. If after I've done this and I start rendering and I decide I need a different colour in there, then absolutely I can add another colour in there, but I wouldn't add more than one colour to my mid-tones to make it 3 mid-tones. Or else it just gets confusing and it just doesn't sit right, it doesn't look right if you use too many pencils, in my opinion. I'm sure lots of people do different things very different ways, but personally I find it much easier just to have a select few. So these are some mid-tones down here as well. So we've already got the brown ochre. Get a bit of burnt ochre in there as well. That's another brown ochre, but that's Caran d'Ache. And then the other brown ochre, Derwent, which are all very similar really. Down here, this green gold is going to need toning down lots with some greys, some warms and dark greys. But that's basically it really. We've got our lights, we've got our midtones, we've got our darks, the greys. So that's it. So what I would do now is just on the back of that or something, just write a list of my lights, mediums, and darks, and then yeah, start drawing. So I hope that helps. Let me know in the comments if there's anything else that you'd like to see. Again, thank you for liking and subscribing. If you haven't already, please do so, and I will see you soon with the next one. All right, cheers guys.